Umpires blows time back on. Now we poised for yet another upset here. The Dragons and the Eagles already going down this weekend. Round 20. Well, I think 2010 was the last time, Loz, that the leading three teams, the Dragons, the Panthers and the Tigers, as it was last year, all lost in the same weekend. And of course tonight the Sea Eagles in particular, who sit in second place, be cheering from their lounge rooms on the northern beaches at this with a penalty to Parramatta early on.
Well, I think we'll get a good indication in the opening 10 minutes of the second half whether the Melbourne Storm have picked up their energy levels. Trying to work Rennie Matua over in that tackle, giving away a penalty. Their discipline needs to remain strong. In the first half they gave away 4 penalties.
A good run there by Shackleton. Terrific metres into the Melbourne Storm half after 1.
Virgin gives it off to Horro, who tries to keep it going. He's stopped about 38 away from the Melbourne line. Hayne is floating in behind the play the ball. Bird distributing. Goes across to Casey Maguire. End of the game if you missed the first half. Just 5 minutes into it with Jeff Robson out of action. Crest fracture of the cheekbone. Nasty collision with Cecil Wonga. Hindmarsh fighting his way back to his feet. Goes to Hayne. Matua wrapping around the back was Bird, holding it up and then hanging on to it. And he was stopped only just by Cooper Cronk. Last play for Parramatta. Goes across to Hayne. He will put it in the air. Some pressure here on Wonga. Plenty of blue jumpers out there. Cesar had an air swing. Lasalo reached out for it.
40.
And I think he may have got a finger on
check
it.
The grounding, please, mate.
Well, he looked confident, didn't he? He was nodding to his Parramatta teammates there. A complete miss by the Melbourne Storm's Justin O'Neill.
Well, he's perfectly placed, isn't he, O'Neill, to make an attempt at it. We're just going straight to the grounding of the football.
Oh, he's got his hand on it.
That's a try.
No wonder he was shaking his head to his teammates. He was confident.
We only need the one replay. And it's the green light for Taniela Lasalo, who grabs the second try of his season. 12 points to 0. They are really cheering. St George Illawarra territory, Manly Sea Eagles territory after this result, and up north in Queensland as well. Wonga flying through the air, had the air swing, and Lasalo was there to put it down.
Yep, didn't judge it right. Wonga too far into the field of play. Billy Slater turned, but the bounce wasn't kind to him. It favoured the Parramatta player Lasalo, and what a start to the second half for the Eels, who dominated the opening 40. And it will be some sort of effort for Melbourne to claw their way back into this one. They have just looked off the pace for most of the game. Cameron Smith is telling his players exactly what should be happening and what they should be doing.
They've won their last 7 games on the road consecutively, but they're under pressure enormously now. At 14 points to 0. A team with just 5 wins to this point of the season, up against the league leaders with 15 wins. They lead now by more than 2 converted tries. After that man, Taniela Lasalo, scored in the second minute of the second half.
And it's been convincing, the opening 45 minutes to Parramatta. And they've had a couple of missed opportunities. Try in the first half. They look really up for this game. And Melbourne are off the pace.
Here's Shackleton. Oh boy. Jamin Lowe looking for a couple of big shots in this set. He might have forced a mistake here. In fact, Luke Burt calling for the referee to stop it or to say 6 again. It was to say 6 again, and luckily for Parramatta, they got the call.
Yeah, they forced it out of Shackleton's hand, but he got the bounce. He fell straight onto the ball again after some solid contact there by Vaya, who was involved in the initial hit.
There's Moi getting another shove, and then to emphasise the fact, just waited a moment before he played the ball as it goes to Hindmarsh. Back towards the halfway line. Another slow play the ball. Too slow, that one.
Hey, mate, he's got to move. When I said get up, no, I didn't call then. That was the one before. He's got to get up.
Yeah, he was too slow. There's no doubt about it. Adam Woolnough just kept his hand on the chest of the Parramatta player. And it was Nathan Hindmarsh. Too long. Penalty 6-3, favouring. Well, that is too long. He knew it too, Adam Woolnough. He knew it. He's not complaining. I think he was just dirty with himself for carrying on. Solid contact there on Moi Moi.
Penalties telling at the moment. 6-3 to Parramatta they are, and here they are. A chance to put a massive gap between themselves and Melbourne in this one. Shackleton playing it for the run of Keating saw half a gap, maybe more. Closed very quickly though by Cameron Smith. They'll play it for Maguire. Here is Hayne. Matua on the run around. Back to Hayne. Burt. Quick hands for Chris Hicks. Slater somehow got a hold of him and hung on to him, and that was a try saver.
Great work, Billy Slater. That's a couple of times in this second half. They've run this type of shape and they've been able to get around Beau Champion and create a 2-on-1 with O'Neill. It looked as though he was going to score, but Billy Slater, the ever-present Billy Slater, pushed across, made good contact, and was able to force his way, force Hicks over the sideline, along with some help from a couple of Melbourne Storm teammates. But any time there's a run around or a change of direction on this left side for Parramatta, they're having trouble reading it, the Melbourne Storm.
Let's go, hold.
Remarkable how Slater was able to hang on to Hicks. Being stepped full stretch. Fingernails dug into the jersey and he was able to hang on. Here is Woolnough playing it for Smith. He goes across to Villa. Looks up towards the 40. Again, meters coming by the hard way for Melbourne. So Cooper Cronk kicks it from inside the 40, but he picks out Burt on the full. The full-back will bring it back to the 40 for Parramatta. They are still winning this battle for field position. Waiselli, who hasn't seen too much of the ball at this point of the game. Going to the left-hand side for the most part. That's a red carry right there. Now Shackleton. Keating for dummy half. Goes to Hayne. A face ball quite literally across the nose of one of his teammates. And now Horrow running a long way. What a copped one high there as he slid to the ground by Billy Slater. It certainly stung him.
Just have a look at tackle, mate. Number one.
Stay there.
Just have a look at number one.
Will blow time off.
Well, again, Parramatta going down this left side and they're opening the Melbourne Storm up. Every time they continue to go down that side of the field, Billy Slater, some contact there. I think he was falling.
And I don't think it's his head that's the problem. I think it's a leg injury.
I don't think there's too much in that in terms of Slater over the top.
No. Justin Horrow was on his way down.
There is the high tackle penalties against you.
Well, we're wrong.
There's time off. You take it.
Where do you want to go?
You take it, mate.
He's hurt. It's a leg injury for Horrow.
Penalty, mate.
It's time still off. It's going to be a penalty.
Well, the question is, has Billy Slater been placed on report here?
What for? Placed on a report for what for?
Well, I don't know that he was placed on report, and on the advice of the referee, the video referee, you can't penalise a team unless the incident is deemed to be worthy of being placed on report.
Well, I don't care. There shouldn't have been a penalty.
Well, there was no crossed arms from the referee. So
That's exactly right.
Yeah, no one was placed on report.
That's an ordinary call.
So how is it a penalty?
Well, the referee, I'm assuming, thought that he was injured.
I can't answer
That's
that.
why injured, because of the contact around the head.
And it was a leg injury.
Exactly right.
But again, Parramatta, you mentioned coming to the left. It's been a problem for the Melbourne Storm. And again, Beau Champion caught out. The face ball from Jared Hayne opened up the space for Justin Horrow. And Beau Champion was left marking no one.
Burt with the 2 on offer. He takes them. So do the Eels at 16 points to 0. This is the weekend of the upset. Still half an hour remaining here, and seen some remarkable comebacks in recent times. 2 of them against the St George Illawarra Dragons in back-to-back weeks. Canberra, and yesterday South Sydney coming from 20 points down. Given the way this game is flowing, it's a long way back now for Melbourne. Here's Smith. He goes down to Hayne. There's Moy. Not at full gallop this time. Excuse him because he's done plenty of work already in the game, and look at that. In the second half, which has been going 9 minutes, Parramatta have had 86% of possession. Incredible number. Matter. A bit of treatment there, giving to the referee after playing the ball. There is Hayne, wrapped up by Champion and also Cronk. Bird, giving it to Moy. They came deep, and now Moy gives it off to Hindmarsh. Maguire links up, gives it to Lalo. He goes wider to Wiselli, who runs at Wanga, and also Nielsen. A little bit of second phase play. Picked up some big meters for Parramatta. Here's Keating, giving it to Matua. He just sums things up, runs to them. And they'll say Melbourne struggling to get back the 10. We're inside it. And having taken the 2 to go to 16, they'll take 2 here from right in front to make it 18.
Yeah, no surprise there. Right in front
He made him come back in this way by being offside linking.
And Steve Lyons again blowing the whistle. 7-3 penalties against the Melbourne Storm. It was a good passage of play there. Moy off to Hindmarsh, off to Maguire. Lalo involved, out to Wiselli. A quick play the ball, had the Storm scrambling. And yeah, there was a couple of Melbourne Storm players in the centre of the field there that just didn't get back the 10.
Well, at the moment, Parramatta look like they can go on with this here and put a big score on Melbourne. And coming here tonight, I didn't think that was possible. I thought it'd be a tight game. But they have all the energy. Every time they have the football, they look as though they can make a line break. The Melbourne Storm, they need to be careful here. They've got a great for and against. They would hate this scoreline to blow out.
Luke Burt. Perfect night for him so far. 5 from 5 with the boot. And that scoreline is correct. If you've just walked in, Parramatta 18 lead the Melbourne Storm 0. This is a quite remarkable round 21 of the NRL, isn't it?
Oh, extraordinary. Extraordinary. And the Melbourne Storm have just been shut out of this second half. They've had very little football. Not much of it has been played down this end of the field. Parramatta have had no trouble advancing the footy to halfway. There's the split of where the game's been played in this second half. 45-9 tackles.
There's Hindmarsh. The Melbourne Storm try to muscle up and drive him back into the 20. Done well there. Parramatta under pressure at their own end for the first time, perhaps for the game.
Let's go, Melbourne!
Now Lalo. They play it here for Keating. Goes to Maguire. In ducking through the line. Grabbed there by Smith and also Bromwich. And Keating will feed it deep. It goes to Hayne. Smith was chasing out, looking for some contact. He didn't get there in time, and the kick goes down to Slater. Moves it off to Justin O'Neill. And he brings it back 35 away from his own line. Here's Wanga, who's had an unhappy night with his hands. Ball on the ground. Build his confidence. He's put a couple down. One very costly one in this second half. Robbie Rocco is out there now playing the ball. It goes to Bromwich. He takes it inside the Parramatta.